Hi everybody, I'm coming to you from my office. You want a little orientation? Those are my roommate Melanie Gall's boxes. They are my boxes and some books. We both moved in this semester and we keep saying we're going to have an unpacking party, but we haven't done it yet. We have a big office. There's Melanie's desk back there. We have a nice window. We have a lot of space. And I'm in here on Mondays and Wednesdays, and she's in here on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And even though we talk about getting together on Friday, it hasn't happened. All right, so this is going to be a very short video. You'll be happy to know. But I just had to get on and urge you not to do what you normally do. You don't all normally do this, but most of you do. And that is to go do your assignment that I assigned to you, and then find three classmates, unless I somehow only ask for two, and read their stuff, write your stuff out, and get out of there. I just really want to challenge you all to go back to the Paulo Freire assignment. I know you're already all ahead in your appreciative work, and that's exciting too, but I want to challenge you to go back and look at the amazing work of some of the people that you might not have looked through. I know in particular that there is some data that people tend to download fewer stuff. They are more likely to read it or look at it if you actually copy and paste it right into the text box. When people are only picking a couple, they're going to go to the thing that's the easiest, and they're often going to ignore the other stuff unless it just so happens that for some reason they like your particular writing and they are like following you, which happens also. But I just want to urge you to go back. Some of these documents and visuals and stuff, these very creative things, are they're like that. You literally had to download something to look at it. So I'm going to just mention a couple of them, but there's more. And please don't be offended if I didn't mention yours. There's just a lot of really good stuff in there. Okay, so I want to start by mentioning Josh. As you all know, Josh is a clergy. I can never say that. Two-syllable word that I have trouble saying. So when I opened up his project and I saw that he had chosen to have the Paulo Freire conversation with one of his bosses, one of the upper level ministers where he works, I got completely excited because as their discussion will go on to talk about, the church is very much in the banking method, right? There's somebody standing up in front of the room and they're sermonizing and they're passing along information, and it's not really a two-way dialogue. And they had that discussion, and I was so excited to read it. And then they morphed from that into the fact that their congregation, that both of them happened to be white males and white upper middle class and white middle class, but the two of them, and that their congregation basically mirrored their own. And then I'll let you read what they said about that and then what Joshua turned all that into. It's just, I love it that he took the Paulo Freire ideas right into his workplace, into a place that has really good intentions, right? It's the church, and discussed ways in which their good intentions fall short in terms of serving the congregation. So thank you for that, Josh. So that's one I wanted to point out. Curtis wrote a recipe. It's going to be a little hard to cook it, but he wrote a recipe, and I'm just going to challenge you to go back and read what he wrote and what his recipe said. It was also very creative. And then there's another one that maybe took a little time to listen to. That was Victoria's video, but it's so cool because you can tell that she and her friend Blaine, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, Victoria, I'm sorry if I didn't, but anyway, they had a really detailed, deep conversation about Paulo Freire, and then Blaine was so excited about the ideas, and she's getting ready to go teach some people in Brazil, and I'll save that so that you will go listen and find out. But it made her change everything, or not everything, but it made her change some things about how she was going to take that project into Brazil. And so that got me all excited, sort of the way Josh's did, because it there's like a real impact that came out of this assignment. Anyway, I'm going to stop there, but there are others. There are drawings, and there are things that are written that you need to take a look at. And please, please know that your classmates, their creativity, their free thinking, where things took them, and then the way that they chose to have something emerge from those conversations into a project are just, this whole class has literally been leading up to Paulo Freire. Some of you have complained that Spring It and Led With are very idealistic, but they don't give you any tools. I actually think they do give you some tools, but I'll pull back. Maybe I'll go into that for just a minute. But these are tools. Paulo Freire has tools for how to engage the community and empower the community. And these are tools that may not work all the time, may not work in every setting. Although you'll hear in Josh's that his boss knew about this and had actually employed it when he was in upper level management in GTE. So I guess they can be used more widely than you might think. All right, so since I mentioned it, let me just go back a minute to what tools are mentioned in Led With and Spring It, since some of you have had some struggle with that. It's not so much that the tools are different, it's where you start. The idea is that you go to the community first and you ask them what is their own vision for the community. And this is a process. Obviously, it's a facilitation because the vision probably is complex and has many pieces. And you ask them, where would you start? What is most important to you that you would like to see happen first? And you basically build this vision and this dream. Once the community has built its vision and its dream, and remember, the community are not just the residents. The community is all of the elements of the community. That includes the government, that includes the business community, that includes individual entrepreneurs and artists and educators, and everybody is included in that. And once the community has come together around a vision, which requires a good facilitator and probably quite a bit of time, maybe a year or 6 months dedicated to this kind of work. Once they have a vision, that's when, in the ABCD model, in the community centric model, that's when the government comes in and tries to innovate to achieve that particular set of visions. And when businesses can come in and see how they can find a win-win that is good for the business and also achieves the community's overall vision. And when individual, creative, entrepreneurial people get ideas and come in, they're not just coming in with their ideas and hoping that the rest of the community will benefit. They're not just looking for personal benefit. They're bringing their ideas to the table to I'm looking for a word, but to make, to create, to help birth the visions that are out there that the community put together. Okay, that's enough. This is a 9-minute video. I will see you on the boards. Anyway, I'm so thrilled about your Paulo Freire stuff. Please go back and read each other's stuff or look at it if you haven't already.